Tigers Are Not Afraid is a Mexican movie all about a little girl called Estrella who finds herself lost within this town that is slowly going to ruins. Cartels, gang warfare, drug warfare has just decimated these cities. It tells you at the start, leaving parts just barren without any kind of population other than kids that seem to just trying to make the best of things, trying to survive in amongst this deadly society that seems to have come up from the criminal underworld. Our character of Estrella is someone who we meet at the start who's writing a story in class. She's writing a story about princesses and princes and tigers and 3 wishes, and things start to happen. And when a school shooter comes in or something happens outside the school, the teacher gives her 3 bits of chalk, tells her they're magical and that they're 3 wishes. We cut to Estrella stuck in the house herself, and her mum is vanished. She's not there. She has no parental figure. She's living in a house where spooky going on seem to be the norm, and she quite clearly sees these things happening. And finally, when she can take it no longer, she ends up leaving the house and becoming friends with a group of nomadic kids that are just living on the rooftops of an abandoned building. But one of these kids has stole a phone that has some kind of prominent information on it, something that a gang leader wants and will stop at nothing to get. So these kids are on the run, trying to deal with much ghostly apparitions that are coming from their past. They're dealing with their feelings, their emotions, dealing with trying to grow up in this environment, and with these crazed gang lords chasing after them, trying to murder them, who have no qualms at all about brutally beating or murdering a child. It's a movie that has heavy themes, it is dark and gritty, it's a horrible situation, but it's kind of tied together with this fantastical nature. The ghostly elements, the things that happen for Estrella, the things that she sees, just coming out of random items, whether it be some kind of flying bird that flies out of a mobile phone, seeing a cuddly tiger come to life. It's all kind of magical feeling about it. And it's those kind of movies I like because it's a grimy, gritty, horribly dank, dark story. But it has this ray of light. It has the ray of light in the form of their future. They do have a future. If they can get through this turbulent time, they may be able to move on to better things because they are all resilient kids who are born survivors who have made it so far. You do get a kind of finale at the end where there is a showdown. It's rather bloody. People die horrible deaths in this. And it's not a heartwarming tale of everybody surviving at the end. Some of these young kids will die. Some of the gang members will die as well. I'm not too concerned about them because they're generally horrible people. But Tigers Are Not Afraid is one of those really hard movies to pin down, how you really talk about it. It has these fantastical elements, it has this real world environment that's kind of horrific. You have this group of characters that are rather endearing. This kind of Lord of the Flies situation. They're stuck on their own, but there seems to be multiple gangs of kids out there. The kids are the heart of this movie. They're the ones that you buy into. They're the ones that you're genuinely worried for and what's going to happen to them. Now, they do get to a blood-soaked finale at the end of this, which was quite cathartic, but ultimately I just wanted all these kids to make it through this story and they never quite did. The fantastical elements are there for a reason. You have to kind of read between the lines on some of it, but it's kind of understanding why that's happening is kind of fun. You have to go with the movie a lot, and with these kind of characters you find that easy to do. The characters that you buy into, that you want to make sure are safe, are the kind of characters that you can easily allow some bits of reality just to not really seep into their world. Tigers Are Not Afraid is a terrifically entertaining movie. It's short, under 90 minutes. It's on Shudder if you're looking to check it out. It's a little bit different from the norm, tackles heavy thematics, but does it in a sort of light, fantasy-fueled way, which is just easy accessible for most people. And I think it was a rather enjoyable, really endearing kind of film. I'd love to know your thoughts on Tigers Are Not Afraid. Let me know in the comment box below, and I will see you next time on Man vs Film.